All right. So this kind of a ridiculous atmosphere to shoot a video. I've been here in Bali for half a year. Looks like I might be here for the whole year. It's during the lockdown here with my family. The whole place is empty. This is like typically I just took a scooter ride and this is like a tourist trap. I haven't been to this area before, but it's like, that's a giant resort, completely empty. Not what this video is about. What is this video about? Oh yeah, energies. But not in the same way that you might have a concept about. Energy is just like spirituality. There are these words that you either think you understand and like or don't like, or you just you've decided not to participate in using those kind of words and anything to do with them. And so I just wanted to talk in a very practical way, as I try to do, but I might zip off. I might float away for a little bit, but I'll come back. Here's why it's important. I'm a father of 3. I know it looks like I'm somewhere between an old man and a little boy, but I guess that's exactly a man. And it's my responsibility, as I see it, to teach them how to live life by modeling it. The old-fashioned way of parenting is like, don't you dare smoke a cigarette! Delicious. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. Don't look at what I do. Just go to bed and shut up. That's what I gather. All the stories that I've heard from, the World War II era folks and the boomers, that the way that they were raised. But now it's really a matter of modeling. What you're hoping that they could be like. Showing your kids what you hope they can do and modeling it. And so one thing that I've noticed very clearly about one of my kids is he's 7 and he's got a bit of a temper. He's got a bit of a temper. I say it's my wife. She's Mongolian. They have hot tempers. They're hot. They're very docile people sometimes. Other times, they give you this look like they're giving you a 3-second head start before they will eat your face. And my wife has given me that look many times. And I take it seriously. If she gives me that look, I'll be like, I'll be right back. Gonna go get some water. And then I run away. Come back a few weeks later. Is it safe? But my son has this in him. Obviously, I have a bit of a temper too. I'm a Canadian. We're world-renowned ragers, we Canadians. And so he's 7, and sometimes he just gets so filled with this anger. And it's, at first, try to calm him down, but if he holds on to it, I'm like, okay, check this out. You are holding on to that anger. You're holding on to it. This is a choice that you're making to hold on to that anger. So I'm talking to him, right? And he's making his face like this. I say, okay, do you want it? Do you want to continue to be angry? And he said, no. I said, okay, so what do you want? I don't know. Well, do you want to be happy? Yeah. So why don't you be happy? I don't know. Well, what do you need to do to get this anger out of you? Do you need to go and break a stick? We can go to the forest over here and break some sticks. You can find some garbage and rip it in half, right? Cardboard is great for raging. If you ever want a cardboard rage, you can even make a cardboard robot and just kick it in the head. Whatever you need to do. Not bad. Robots don't care if you kick them, especially cardboard robots. They have no inside. So the point is this, I have to model this, right? So when I'm like fighting, if my wife and I ever fight, which, come on, it happens sometimes. I have to show them that I can let things go. I need to be able to show them that it's possible to let things go. And if not, then what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I'm just giving them my gunk, not my best. Because your kids are watching. They're always like a radar. And they're like, oh, that's what you do, huh? And then they copy you and then you're like, no, don't do that. So yeah, it keeps you on your A game if you do the right thing. The main thing is you can choose your emotions, absolutely, okay? And you need to, because they come to you, but then you have to decide whether you want them to stick around. Humans do exist. Back to the point. Emotions will come to you. There's environmental emotions. If you go to an event or something and you see 2 people fighting, you can inherit that crazy rage emotion that comes with when like a group of people fight. you can get wrapped up in that. You can also choose to detach yourself from that. There's always like an invitation. There's like things radiate energy. Everything does. We're made of energy. But there's like a certain type of energy that we radiate when we're in a really good mood or a really bad mood. And when those environmental energies come to us, we can either accept them and just become them, or we can reject them and say, no, 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 no. Even if they kind of enter us, these emotions, like we feel a bit of pain or a bit of rage or a bit of frustration or even joy or even horniness. Guys, jeez. You don't have to stay horny just because it comes knocking on your door. Not appropriate all the time, right? This is a really important point for husbands who have wives that are pregnant and having babies. You gotta manage that stuff, man. What do you do if it comes knocking on your door? The emotions, the energy that you don't want. You have to be able to have the self-awareness to be like, oh, this is what I'm thinking. Do I want to think this? Do I want to feel this? Because if it starts in here and then it starts to go into your body, it takes over everything. People who are in a state of rage, they can get possessed, and every ounce of them is just rage. Their finger is enraged. Their fingernails are enraged. Their hair becomes enraged. They just embody rage. It takes over. So at some point, we are meant to take control, right? And again, there's environmental stuff. Sometimes we have triggers from this unconscious, subconscious stuff, gunk that we've inherited from either our childhood, or there's even ancestral stuff, DNA stuff that's in our DNA. But when it pops up, we can say, hey, I see ya, and you can acknowledge it, and then you can do what you need to do to get that energy out in a positive, productive way. Here's why I need to specify that, because I don't recommend punching people. Not at all. Not a good thing. I know people like MMA. I watch MMA, and I just say, my God. My God. That's what I say. That's my impression of myself. My God. I'm not judging MMA here, just saying don't punch people in the face when you're filled with rage. Also, it's when you say regrettable things. Your brain turns off when you're filled with rage. Don't be filled with rage. Don't be filled with it. Let it get through you. Do push-ups. For some people, they need to do push-ups. Gets it out of their system. Just use that rage to channel it to do some rage push-ups. Ow! 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 Some rage sit-ups, some rage jumping jacks, whatever you need to do. You could do some rage yoga. So you identify the emotion, you figure out, do you want to feel this emotion or not? And then what's the best outlet so that it can pass through you? And then you're a clean slate. And then you can fill that body, mind, heart of yours with emotions, thoughts, and feelings of your choice. When you meditate in the morning, I don't know if you got that the first time, it allows you to see these emotions coming in more slow motion. You can see them coming before they're fully there. So you're not as quick to be totally possessed by an emotion, because it's kind of like you're operating at a slower pace. Your nervous system is more positive than neutral. When you wake up and you just start your day, you're in neutral, and you're kind of like an open receptor for whatever comes your way. Whatever thought, feeling comes your way, you just become that. But when you invest in meditation in the morning and prayer, devotion, like you kind of set your mind, you set your heart, you set your spirit up for the day, then that allows you to start operating from a positive space, and then it's far more likely that you'll stay there. You might fall out, but at least if your starting point is positive, you can go back to that. If your day you never experience positivity, it's possible to stay in a shitty state all day. Like I did. We've been in Bali for 6 months, and I've had 3 days that I was filled with shittiness, and I couldn't let my resentment or whatever go. I was just angry at my wife, angry at my situation, stressed out, and I let it take over. It's like the Incredible Hulk in the last few movies where Bruce Banner's like possessed by Hulk, and he's like a calm Hulk. I kind of can do that now. Even when I'm in a state, I can tell my wife and my kids, listen, I'm deciding to be in a bad mood today for some reason. I will work on this. Tomorrow's going to be a new day. Just let me kind of dwell on this. Give me some space. I'm working through some stuff, and I can talk about it. and I'm more irritable, but I can even say, hey guys, you see that? I got something in me. It's passing through me. To wrap it up, meditation is super helpful to start in the positive. If an emotion comes, you can decide whether you want that emotion. If you don't want that emotion, you need to figure out how to get that energy to get out of you in the best, most productive possible way. And then once you're a clean slate, you need to decide what you want to replace that emotion with, because if not, an empty space is still a place, so it'll get filled up with something anyway. I hope that was helpful. If you ever have any questions, go to wholegoalslife.com. That's what we're about at Whole Goals Life, is just teaching people how to practically harmonize their mind, heart, spirit, and body so that you can be a transmuting device for goodness instead of crappiness. Take care, everybody.